Nothing compares to a hot cup of tea. Whether you're just about to start your day or you just need to get through it, a nice cup of tea is a savior. But do you know the history behind this beverage, which is the second most consumed beverage in the world after water? There are numerous legends and tales about its origins centered around the first cup of tea that was ever brewed. So grab a hot cup of tea and let us first go back to China, in the mountains around Sichuan and Yunnan, and revisit the story of Emperor Shen Nung from China. Legend says that tea originated in 2737 BC when the highly disliked Emperor Shen Nung of China was removed from power and driven out to an isolated spot in southern China. Having no money to drink anything but water, Shen Nung happened to be sitting under a tree one day when a gust of wind dropped a few leaves into his cup of boiling water. He loved the blend and found it so relaxing that he sat under that tree for the next 7 years and would not drink anything else. He discovered that tea cured him of a stomach ache contracted as a result of drinking a toxic herb. It has since been scientifically proven that the polyphenols in tea inhibit the growth of bad bacteria in the gut and help good bacteria to flourish, along with having antimicrobial properties that can kill off harmful substances. People in China were the first drinkers of tea, and they did so for hundreds of years before it was eventually discovered by European explorers. The Chinese thought tea to be both hugely beneficial for health and appropriate to use as a religious offering. A scarce and rare product, tea was only consumed by royalty, and it was not until the discovery of more kinds of tea plants during the Tang dynasty that tea became available for people of lower classes. It was only during the Tang dynasty 616 to 907 that tea drinking became an elaborate art form. Varieties of tea were soon distinguishable, and tea was presented as gifts, with rare varieties presented to emperors. As tea became a coveted trade item, the commercial practice of trading in tea began. Between 420 and 589 BC, tea became embedded in Chinese traditions. Interest grew around the methods of cultivation, and its consumption rapidly increased. Several tea shrubs were planted between 618 and 907 BC by the Tang dynasty. At this point, Japanese monks carried seeds with them as they traveled back to Japan. Thus, tea began to spread overseas. Scented varieties of tea were explored in the years that followed between 960 and 1279 BC. This included Wu Yi tea in the Fujian province of China. By 1271 BC, machines were used in the production of tea, even though commoners preferred loose tea for brewing. The introduction of machinery marked a significant development in crafting methods. Tuocha and tea cakes were still given to the lords in exchange for favors, as these were prestigious items worthy of presenting to royalty. During the rule of Ming dynasty, roasting of tea leaves became popular. In the years that followed, leaves were rolled into strips and loose tea leaves were used to make drinks. Between 1636 and 1911 BC, the Ying dynasty ruled over China. By this time, tea had become a part of people's lifestyle, and the popularity of varieties of tea such as green tea, black tea, oolong tea, yellow tea, etc. had spread. Tea was instrumental in bringing foreign trade to China as it was gradually exported across the world. The Chinese began trading tea with Tibet and then the Arabs, the Turks, and the Indian nomadic tribes in the Himalayas by the 8th century AD. Using the Silk Route, tea was traded to India. Its spread to the Western world was gradual, reaching European soil in the 16th century and finally spreading to Britain in the 17th century. Asia is by far the biggest producer, supplying 80 to 90% of all tea, mainly from India, China, Sri Lanka, and Indonesia. India is the largest individual tea producing country, growing nearly 30% of the world's tea. The origins and history of tea date back to almost 5,000 years, and tea itself now has more than 3,000 different variations. The most widely consumed beverage in the world has both a historical and cultural importance that cannot be rivaled. With recent scientific research indicating that tea drinking may have direct health benefits, it is assured that for centuries to come, there will always be a place for a nice cup of tea. This was all for this video. Thank you for watching.